Hi everybody, Dick Vitale. The Metro Atlantic Athletic Conference and the Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame are proud to recognize the MAAC Honor Roll Class of 2016. These 22 individuals share the common bonds of leadership, responsibility, and commitment developed during their time as basketball student athletes, coaches, and administrators at MAAC institutions.
I had a passion for basketball, and I coached for 36 years. Even when I was young, it was interesting because I was a late bloomer as a player, but I used to play all the time, and I actually got cut from my high school team as a sophomore. But I went to the YMCA, and a bunch of guys started, working on my game with me, played constantly for long periods of time. And then by the time the coach came back and said, "Hey, would you like to come out for the team?" And I did, and then had the opportunity to come here. And the decision to come to Ryder was absolutely the right decision for me, and it just led to tremendous things.
When I was younger, I had brothers, Maurice and Mike. We played basketball sun up, sun down. My father incorporated a basketball court in the backyard, and we just played. We didn't have any experience at all, we just played. Of course, the guys developed a little faster than I did. They wouldn't let me play, so I just watched, practice all the time. So one day they didn't have a player, so they asked me to play. I held my own and did really well. Then they saw me in a different light, so I enjoyed the challenge.
Basketball is definitely my primary sport. I'm a natural athlete, and basketball has always been my love. I enjoyed playing the game. I enjoyed working at the game. I gave everything I had to the game, not because I had to, because I wanted to. So every time I was on the court, even as a young kid growing up, throughout my college experiences, I always loved the game, and I always felt enjoyment when I was on the court playing the game.
Being a child at the neighborhood rec center where, most kids go and play. They was clearing the gym out so the girls could have practice. The coach came in and asked me, "Hey, little girl, you want to play basketball?" I said, I don't care, I don't know how. It started from there. I didn't know what I was doing. I remember that year I got best defensive player. I was good at listening. They told me, guard the girls, so I guard the girls. From then I went to high school, went to camp some more, and camp would be over at 3. We didn't leave till 6 every day. I didn't just sit in the stands, I just would shoot or do what I learned that particular day.
These innovators helped bridge the gap from what was just a thought and made it a reality.
The fact was that we had gone, like so many schools at that time, co-ed. So we did have more and more women coming in. And we had a natural pool because there were a lot of these women coming in who had played some pretty good high school sports, and we were blessed with having some good coaches of women's sports available to help that. I mean, I might have been instrumental, and I, appreciate the plaudits for all that and so on, but having a good stable of coaches, Mike Rappel in softball, and Sister Maria Perez in women's basketball. Hey, these gals were ready, willing, and able, and we were able to recruit some good ones and had some good coaches so we could move full speed ahead with our women's sports.
As a coach, one of my most fondest memory was my first basketball team here that I entered into the Dominican College tournament. The night before we were supposed to go to the tournament, I informed my players that they were supposed to wear their white uniforms. The season before I came, they were a club team, and so they went around in cut-off jeans and white t-shirts. So I told them, everyone buy new white t-shirts, and before taking the court, I wrote with a magic marker, "I own a college in the front," and whatever number they wanted to become. And we won the Dominican tournament. Somebody from the local town papers took our pictures, and lo and behold, the following season, the athletic department purchased for us home and away uniforms.
Most would agree the college experience goes a long way in shaping who a person becomes, and for student athletes and coaches alike, it can be even more significant.
My experience as a student athlete really helped me in coaching now, just through knowing every day just to come to work and to work hard, and really just my philosophy now of just taking one day at a time, and good and bad things are going to happen throughout your career, but really just staying focused on your goal and where you wanted to get to, and with the approach of just bringing it and giving everything you have, that particular practice or that particular class, And that's really helped me to frame my mindset now as a leader and a coach.
Well, when I left Niagara, and because of my experience here and my connections, I was able to go to St. Bonaventure University, and from there I went to St. John's University, and then came back to Niagara, so I almost felt like it was like a coming home. I knew I wanted to finish and get my master's degree in educational leadership, so this provided me an opportunity to come back and get my graduate degree. And from coaching, I guess the other piece is just all that work and time and effort that went into it behind the scenes that the players maybe didn't recognize. The late nights and the scouting and watching the video and the recruiting and all of the things that our coaches had to deal with to make sure that for us, all we had to do was worry about was, stepping out on the court and playing or coming to practice. So I was very appreciative and had a different respect for my coaches.
Look, I often look back and wonder if I hadn't come to Ryder to play basketball, what my professional and personal life would be like today. I think your experiences as a student athlete prepare you for the real world. I got a tremendous education here, and that obviously propelled me to do well professionally. My first year here was our first year of Division I, and needless to say, we had a few wins and a lot of losses, and I think those experiences and how we handled them, how our coaches, they prepared us to deal with the wins and to deal with the losses. I think all those experiences really helped me in my professional life to be able to deal with all the ups and downs of what you deal with in your job life.
Yeah, my time as a student athlete at Marist was fantastic for me. It was very formative in my personal life and in my professional career. After my professional career ended in Europe, the time I had at Marist really served me well, learning to deal with different types of people. My coaching staff was instrumental in my development as a young man and really taught me hard work and ethics and all the things that really are important in a professional career. And I couldn't have gotten to where I am without Marist College.
So my experiences as a student athlete have really helped me just overall in my career because I feel like they've prepared me for every stage that I'm doing right now. So that competitiveness that I had to display on the court and then still be able to manage the workload of like class kind of rounded me and made me a person that does the things off the court that I needed to do, but did the things on the court that I needed to do. And now I'm taking all of that competitive drive that I had and I'm using that in the workforce, like a principal at a school. I'm up early in the morning, I'm putting a lot of work in, I want my school to shine, and so all of that's coming from that competitive piece that I had when I was here at Iona. And really efficient at my job and being able to balance a really big workload, right? And so while other people might struggle with that, that's something that we had to do here on a consistent basis.
And with the luxury and perspective of time and maturity, these former coaches and student athletes provide meaningful insight.
Realizing how much you can push yourself in the classroom and on the court. Sometimes you want to quit, sometimes you say you can't, but you never realize what you can do when you look inside yourself and really push yourself when you don't want to wake up at 6 in the morning and go run and be at class by 8 and then workouts at the end of the day. You feel like you're too tired, but you get up and do it again.
The desire to achieve the highest level of success, to push yourself beyond what you thought was possible, that is a common bond shared by this elite group, and it is a quality carried on in everything they do.
Without hesitation, I have to say winning back-to-back championships, 1986, 1987, and having 2 NCAA appearances. In the first year, I guess we were the favorite going into the tournament, and so it was more pressure on us to complete the season out. I think we went 13-1 regular season, and then had to win the 3 games in the MAAC championship to go to the NCAA tournament. As a senior, our goal was once again to repeat, but we experienced a lot of adversities that year. Whether it was injury, we also finished up 7th seed. I think that was more fulfilling than maybe the first year. It was great because my first 2 years, we were kind of like the doormat of the MAAC as far as men's basketball was concerned. So to be able to evolve into where we were, it was fulfilling.
95-96, our team went to the NCAA tournament. It was the first time in the school's history. It was a dream come true for me, just have the whole shore area get behind us and have all the media exposure. It was just a dream come true. And like I said, 95-96 team, I just saw them after 20 years and they're all doing great. And we keep in touch as much as possible. They were everything, and they made me the player I am today by making me work hard, just having fun off the court also.
It's the bonds and lasting friendships formed from being part of a team made up of coaches and student athletes working together for a common goal that can be most rewarding.
The relationships at St. Peter's is priceless. It is priceless because it was 7 of us that got recruited as freshmen. You know, we coming in not knowing each other, not knowing anything about each other. Through the years, we became closer and closer. We even had Thanksgiving dinners at each other's houses. When we graduated, we all went our separate ways. It was very interesting when we all got inducted to the Hall of Fame as a team. It's almost like we never went anywhere. We just kind of picked up where we left off, you know, our senior year. It's a brotherhood that can't break, fraternity. I'm fortunate to have played with the guys that I played with. We still write letters to each other. That's kind of old school, but that's what we used to do in college. It's been a blessing, and I really value our friendships.
My friendships and relationships with my teammates have meant a lot to me. This week alone, I've talked to 3 of my teammates, and it's not a unique situation. Throughout the 20 years since I've been playing, they've been an integral part of my life, you know, through marriages, through birth, through death. I talk to a lot of them weekly. We keep in touch with each other. We weren't always the most successful on the court, but I laugh because we really always got along together well. And again, that might not have translated into the most wins, but it's translated into some really great friendships.
One of my fondest memories at Siena College is when we won the state championship in 1982. We worked hard, we had a low in our season, we came back and worked together as a team. I think it's awesome because out of the 5 starters on that championship team, we all are in the 1,000 Point Club, and we've all been nominated into the Siena College Hall of Fame. So I think that's pretty unique that you have that many players that achieve those goals and work together as a team. It shows how close-knit we were, and that leads into the friendships that we build.
These honor roll recipients embrace the lessons they learned as student athletes, such as time management and teamwork, taught by able and experienced coaches who prepared them for the many opportunities they pursued following graduation.
The most influential person during my playing days at Manhattan was my coach, Coach Delano. She worked us hard every day. She challenged us. She really pushed us beyond our limits. And that, I believe, is what led us to have a successful team my senior year and allow us to win a MAAC championship. She instilled in her players and in me a work ethic like none other that I still carry every day of my life, and I try and teach that to anybody I coach or my kids. She also instilled in us an attitude to go above your comfort zone, push yourself, go to a little level that's higher than what you think you can achieve. And I also try and do that with my, with my kids. She really, really wanted the best for her players and wanted everyone to be successful.
The most important person that I had at Manhattan was probably Jack Powers. He was my coach. I had met Coach Powers when I was 15 or 16 years old as a 6'5" lanky kid. I was always around Manhattan because I lived close by. At the end of the fall semester of my junior year, Jack called me into his office. He said to me, if you keep this up, he says, we're going to have an NCAA investigation. And I looked at him, I said, what are you talking about? He threw my grades out in front of me, and I looked, and it was a 3.8. And everybody started laughing. But Jack was always a great guy. He was always there to help you. But Jack Powers was, for my career, he did wonders for me. And still to this day, we're very good friends.
I've had great mentors, coaches, and teachers that have made, from the time that I was in high school, going into my college basketball coach, Bill Dixon, who have been amazing role models and leaders, not only in the school, but outside in the community. And the valuable experience that they have imparted in me is the ability to give back. They were more than just coaches and teachers. They went beyond. They provided me with opportunities that, had I not been under their tutelage, been able to receive and be the person that I am today.
My coach at Niagara was Jack Armstrong, and he was thrust into the position at the age of 26, which made him the youngest coach of Division I basketball at the time. Was a great guy, really fun-loving guy off the court, but he was no nonsense when it came to the court and also the classroom. Jacko really instilled accountability and discipline to each of the players on the team, which I think made you a reliable person, a reliable teammate, and just keeping in contact with a lot of the players on the team after our careers ended in college. Everybody seems to still have those same traits, due largely in part to Coach Armstrong.